Hi everybody, so this is a video that I'm posting regarding a purchase that I've just completed yesterday, and it got me thinking because part of my investment strategy is all about how quickly and how much can I use the same cash amount over and over again, which is what I call cash velocity. So the idea being that you are able to use the same amount of cash but do more projects. And to do that, I've always been a proponent of reducing time taken to purchase. So whether it's things like doing loads of viewings but then picking the ones that are going to be quicker to complete because all the paperwork's already there. Sometimes avoiding probate, because sometimes probate can just take on forever. And then this time around I've tried something completely new, which I wanted to share, which is basically from the day that I sent one of my guys to view the house to the completion day, which is me picking up the keys, it's taken a total of 2 weeks. That's probably the quickest I've ever done it. I mean, it's quicker than auction times purchases, and even the estate agent also said that that's the quickest that they've actually ever seen somebody see a house and buy it. So in total, from the time that the sales memo came out to completion on their books, it was 1 week. So how did I do it? I guess it was probably one of the reasons why I'm putting this video together. So part of actually buying a house and the process of buying a house, as you would know, is you'd do your usual, Rightmove, Zoopla, online searches. Then you will refine which one you want to go and have a look, call the agents. Then from there you book some viewings, you go and do the viewings. Hopefully you like one of them, and you aim to put an offer. Now from that time, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes in before that, so everybody's pretty much aware of how much work needs to happen for you to find a good below market value property. But from the time that you've actually put an offer in and it's accepted, there's a lot of work that then needs to happen. And personally, I just think it just takes too long for us to buy a house in England. On average, the average time it's between 8 to 12 weeks. That's if everybody does the thing that they need to do in that chain for the actual process to go smoothly. So how did I achieve a purchase within 2 weeks rather than 6 to 8 weeks? Basically, I cut out a lot of the steps. So first, I cut out a lot of the steps by removing the actual, and I'm conscious that this is not going to apply to everybody, but I just wanted to test a theory that you can actually buy a house as quickly as 2 weeks in England. So to do that, I purchased a house cash without using lenders. So one of the things that you then remove by not needing a lender and also having the experience to be able to do it is you don't need the convoluted process of a lending criteria, lending surveys that they have to then book in, then they have to go in the underwriting stage, then you get to a mortgage offer. So all of these on average takes 2 to 3 weeks if you're lucky. So by buying cash, I was able to cut out those 2 to 3 weeks. The second part that takes another long time is searches that your solicitor will, certainly if you're buying with a mortgage, they will insist that you take out. Generally speaking, these searches will look at things like, are there any kind of future plans that the council are putting together that may affect this house? Or the property that you're buying. Where are the drains? Are there any kind of major issues in terms of planning or anything like that those searches will pick up? So quite frankly, the house that I've just bought now is a mid-terrace house, is 1900s, been there for 120 years. I have houses all around that particular house, so I know the area well, and I didn't need anybody or any searchers to tell me that there's no motorway being planned on it, because it's nowhere near that kind of area. The plumbing, the drains, and there's no issues there. I've been to the house, I've actually gone through and knocked on walls and looked at the windows, looked at the chimney breast, looked for movement. So I've done those kind of, quite frankly, basic searches that a surveyor would normally do as well. So By not doing the survey, by not having to wait and wait for the searches, I was able to cut out. And searches on average, your solicitor will tell you it can take 2 to 3 weeks depending on how long the council take to reply to that query. There's another kind of £200-300 worth of fees in there. Surveys, roughly the lenders will charge you around £300-400 for the surveyors to come out. So not only are you saving time, you're saving money. Although the money bit was not the reason why I undertook this purchase in this way. It was more to do with the time. So this is where I save all of my time. The lending and not using a mortgage, not having to do a survey, and not having to go through the underwriting and then mortgage offer stage, cut out 2 to 3 weeks, not having to have a searches and waiting for the searches. That also reduced my buying time by another 2 to 3 weeks. Incidentally, I did order the searches, not waiting for it to come, but in time, because when I come to refinance this property, I will need the search. So I said to my solicitor, just go ahead and order it, and when it comes, we can use it for remortgage purposes. But incidentally, we did get the searches back within 2 weeks, actually, which within those kind of 10-day period, which was unheard of. But it also goes to show that if you push your solicitors to get things done quicker, there is a likelihood that if you're lucky, you might even get those searches come back quick, as in this case. As it turned out, there was nothing there. As I predicted, there was nothing there in these searches that I should be worried about, so we then proceeded anyway. Just something as an aside, there are insurances that you can take, indemnity insurance for searches, which then allows you to bypass the whole search that you have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to get back. They roughly, I was quoted 294 quid for this indemnity insurance. The challenge is here is whether you are able to then use it with lenders. Some lenders accept it, a lot of lenders may not accept it. So that would be my only concern with those searches, in indemnity insurance searches. Because for the 294, I just ordered the actual search that I know every lender will require when it comes to refinance. So all in, this is basically, it just goes to show that you can, and I will be doing more and more of this now, is buying properties. I'm 22 years in the making. It doesn't mean I won't make mistakes, but generally speaking, I can walk into a house and in an area and actually have a look at what I need to know. Can I buy it cash? Am I going to be faced with an issue there? And if not, then I buy them. And if on average it takes 8 weeks to buy a house, to get the key, and if I've done it now in 2 weeks, that means that extra 6 weeks that I've saved, in this case, it's going to be a 6-bed HMO. I would be pretty much there or thereabouts with that project. I've got my own team in-house that will go in, and actually we start today. I'm waiting outside the estate agent now to pick up the keys. So it is now 10 o'clock. So my first guy will go in at 11 o'clock, start stripping wallpapers and waiting for plasterers and electricians to start turning up as well. So those 6 weeks saved will allow me to complete this project there or thereabouts within the 8 weeks that it would have normally taken me to buy the house. So in that 8 weeks, I would not been able to do anything else. My money would have been tied up. And now after this 8 weeks period, just to clarify, my money would have been tied up because I wouldn't have been able to buy anything, knowing this is going to go through. So I had to keep the money there. And it was going to be cash anyway. So in this case, these 8 weeks that I've got now coming up, or this freed up 6 weeks, will be my works, renovation works period, and I should be able to complete this project in the 8-week period. So the same time it would have taken me to get the key, I would have basically finished and refurbished, ready to refinance this property. So why is that important? The reason why it's important is it's about how quickly you can use your funds to fund new projects. So the idea is, if I can save, and actually my solicitor was a bit hesitant to say, well, why am I trying to buy this house so quickly? She just wanted to understand why. And when I explained that this capital velocity theory around, using the same cash, but instead of using it once in 8 weeks or 12 weeks, Well, actually, in this case, it would have been 8 weeks to buy it, and then another kind of 6 weeks to work to be done on it. So you're talking almost 3.5 months. So if I have to wait every time I buy a house 3.5 months to finish the project, then refinance, so we're talking now another 2 to 3 weeks to refinance, so 4 months or so, I'd only be able to use that cash and that fund 3 times in a year if the average time it takes me to buy and refurbish is 4 months by the time I pull the money out. So by doing it this way, I will be able to do more projects. If anything, I might be able to double the number of projects I do with that particular amount of cash. So the idea is capital velocity, use more, do more with the same amount of cash by reducing the time it takes you to get those projects and also get the works done, so you can then recycle all of your money out. In this particular case, I should be able to recycle most of the money out because this was a below market value. Given the situation in the market at the moment, it's not a great amount of discount on it, but it's discounted enough for me to be able to pull most of my money out. It's going to be a 6-bed HMO. I should be able to, based on my numbers, clear around £1,200 to £1,400 a month after all cost of rental, which would be like your bills, your council tax, broadband, cleaners, etc., etc. So that would not, if your goes well, it will not be a bad deal. No money left in £1,200 to £1,400 added to the top line of the company's revenue, and all done within hopefully 8 weeks period. So I hope this is helpful to some of you guys. Again, I take the point that this is not open to people who are buying via mortgages, but if you were thinking about or you are using cash to purchase properties, just know that you can actually increase the speed at which you buy houses as long as you are confident and competent as to what you're buying. There's no legal reason why you can't do that, and I would advocate that you should do that as an investor to maximize your source of funding of funds, basically. On another note, I'm always open to helping other people, so I coach people on a one-to-one. So if you're interested in actually learning about how to get into properties, or even right now I'm taking a couple of people who have been property investors for the last 10 years but now need to notch up from vanilla buy-to-let into HMOs. So I'm coaching them specifically around the process of HMOs, what to buy, where to buy, how to assess deals, develop deal analyzers for themselves, and then when they get to the actual house itself, how to reconfigure, what needs to be done, and how to apply for licenses, HMO licenses, and thereafter how do you build a business around HMOs as well. So check my links out. I'm on Facebook. I've got a group on Facebook with almost 6,500 property investors in it. I also post a lot on Instagram and YouTube, as you would be watching this video now. And generally speaking, you can reach me on any of those social media platforms, and or have a look at my website as well for more information. I've been investing in UK properties for the last 22 years now, and I've gone from vanilla buy-to-let to HMOs. We run about 150 tenants, and in the last kind of 7 to 8 years now, I've been buying blocks of flats and title splitting them into leaseholds and creating large amount of value out of them as well. So multi-skilled investor. So if you want to learn more, check out my social and watch out for the next video. Many thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.